for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Cut! 180! Right there, 56. It's just me and you. It's us.
The third-year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Check, 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 check. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Goff. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd down, Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Set. 180. 10, 10. 54. Here we go.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the whip. 59.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
First down, Cowboys.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go.
From the 44, Stafford. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Back to throw. Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
March 50, March 50, March 50. Let's go, D.
Bravo.
Watch the run, watch the run. Switch, switch, switch. He's checking, he's checking. Go.
From the gun, here's Goff. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A very solid gain of 27.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Check, 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 check. 32.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Hurry up, get set.
Stafford now to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On the ground, this is Williams. Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And he'll let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ted Ginn, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Slam. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Here's Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Hey, yellow lady! Yellow lady! Back to you. I'm going back to you. Yeah, strike 7.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Value three.
Check the backer. Big Ed.
Goff now to throw. This into the hands of Marvin Hall, complete.
Keep playing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Kill. Check nickel.
Gone. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught inside the 5. They'll get 34 yards there for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
A gain on the play. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, the head coach is out of challenges now for the rest of the game. I'm not too sure he wouldn't like to have a few more challenges in his pocket.
And when they first started, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Jamal Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, they got the extra point, and it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Get in the right wheel. Check. Lucky.
22. Omaha, ready, move.
Mike 51.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
49. Check 49.
X3. 218, chopper. Drill right. 22. Look at
On first down, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. But it's caught. On the right side, it's Smith. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And a Cowboy.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Middle.
Stafford on first down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Malik Jackson, his second sack of the night.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Throwing is Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Stafford. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
The Saints will cover first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Jim. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Joker. Motion.
Now gone. This is Gabriel out on the left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
I got you. Check 31. Rush in.
3rd and long. It's gone. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. A give to Williams, running right. Muscling free near the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Here we go.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
Throwing on third. Goff to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Bailey's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They'll run on first down. Coleman. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go. You tighten up.
20.
On second down, it's Coleman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
53. Ready. Red.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he will find Ridley on the left side. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
11. Hey. Check. Watch 54.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get...
He's got a man, complete. He got 29 yards that time.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run it with Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ric Flair.
Tight end right. Everyone, we got 4 down. 24 is the mic. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Echo.
Check hot route. Hot. Slam.
On 2nd and 9, Goff. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Iowa, Amani Hooker. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one good for 26 and a first down.
6 yards. That's good for the Saints. First down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Goff now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a first and 10.
Hey, high 7.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Check 26, check 26.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Samson Abukum charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
50's the mic, 50's the mic.
Hey, Haywood.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. He goes to you, it's you.
Here's Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Check three, check three, check three. 6 guys, check 6 guys.
Now Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a first and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Zero. Big 20.
Watch twits.
After the sack on first down, Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Stafford, it fights him off. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Jackson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Another 3 and out.
Here's Matt Darr now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Watch the run, watch the run. Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Check 50, check 50.
On second and a long way to go. Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now Goff on first down. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
Check 24, check 24. You go tight.
Out of the gun, Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Watch the safety creep.
To throw is gone. He lets it fly for Lockett. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Iowa, Amani Hooker. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a second and 13.
That was 60.
Deuce. Middle.
Zebra.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
6-6, pull it high.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. They find some open field here. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
First down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Set. The waiting. Watch the screen. Monday. 40 got.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. And some room to roam now. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now Parkey for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Cowboys 34, Saints 10.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
3 down. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch twist.
Now a first down throw, gone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
24's the mic. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
From the gun, here's Gone. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
No. He's coming.
On first down, it's gone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Charlie. 24 is the mic. Heavy on the edges. Check 37.
To the air again, Goff. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd and short. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Hey, Zoo. Check. 3 down. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Slam.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Finding Gabriel complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive.
Check.
Back.
From the red zone now, Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Here's Coleman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Stafford. That escapes the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Come on. You better bring it.
He's checking. Crash. Hatchet.
On first down, Goff. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Cowboys, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will head back home.